Welcome you all to this, I think it's our second class. Just a quick recap of what we did last time. I know we wrote nothing, but we discussed a lot. What do we recall, or what do we remember on what we discussed? Yes, brother, you were there, right? What did we discuss?
We talked about financial statements. It was just basically a recap of what we did in the past concerning accounting.
Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am, over there. Anything that you recall? All right. So today, at least, we may have something to write as we are starting. We are studying exactly as on as of what is on the course outline. So we'll start with the introduction, and under the introduction, we start defining financial management. So you write this introduction, and you write financial management refers to the strategic planning. Financial management refers to the strategic planning. Strategic planning, organizing, directing. All right. I was saying financial management refers to the strategic planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. Saying planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of financial undertakings, or in an organization or an institute. Full stop there. Financial management is the process. Of planning funds. Is the process of planning funds, organizing availability, or organizing available funds, and controlling financial activities, and controlling financial activities, and controlling financial activities, to achieve the goal of an organization. To achieve the goal of an organization. All right. What do we make out of what we've written? An idea? What do we make out of what we have written? So when we talk of financial management, definitely it does, as I said last time, say it's all about decision making. So definitely you need to make plans for whatever activities that has to be there. And having an activity or project in place, you need to decide as well you should source the finances to cover up or to finance the activities at hand, or the project at hand. So definitely you'll be looking at sources of those finances, and later on directing those fetched finances into the respective projects and try to monitor how your finances are being used over the project, so that at least you are moving towards the direction of achieving the goal for whatever the project might be there, or for the goal for an organization. Let's have this last part, then we go to the other aspect. Right, financing decisions involves financing decisions. Financing decision involves financing decision involves identifying sources. Financing decision involves identifying sources of financing, determining the duration, determining the duration, determining the duration, and cost of financing, and cost of financing, and managing investment returns, and managing investment returns, and managing investment returns, and managing investment returns. What is cost of financing? What is cost of financing? An idea? What is cost of financing? So then? It involves borrowing money. So what is the cost in that? Exactly. We are looking at the interest that has to be paid. So there is always cost attached to both sources of financing your company or your organization. As I said last time, I did say the organization has only two sources of finance. What are these? You recall? I mentioned as we were discussing. So we look at debt financing as well as equity financing. So if you look at debt financing, definitely the cost attached to it, we are looking at the interest charged, or the interest that the borrower pays to the lender. And in terms of investment returns, what are investment returns? An idea? That's RETURN. What are investment returns? Profits. So the question is, once profit has been made, what do we do with the profit made? We have done businesses before, right? What do we do to the profits that the organization has made? You reinvest, right? Exactly. That is, if you still need to boost on your investment, then definitely the amount that has been earned, you retain for your investment, so that you boost up your portfolios and the likes. So we now go to objectives of financial management. Objectives of financial management. Objectives of financial management. From what we have just discussed, what do you think are some of the objectives that are attached to financial management? An idea? any guesswork as to what are the objectives. We have said financial management is all about sourcing, directing, and managing or monitoring those finances once they have been put into activity. So if we were to look at the objectives, our first objective is to ensure regular and adequate supply, to ensure regular and adequate supply of funds to the concern, to ensure regular and adequate supply of funds to the concern. So when you say regular supply of funds, what do we mean there? Regular supply of funds. What do we mean? Dear Silva, any idea? Yes, ma'am, there? Regular supply of funds. A continued supply, right? So that at one time or the other, we don't have to have a deficiency of finances. That's why when you look at finance management, the focus has to be on what? Planning. So you should plan, and in the course of planning, definitely you need to understand as to how much do you need, and as how much you need, it will be determined by what? The activities that you are going to undertake. So having that plan, definitely you make sure that at each and every step through the process of whatsoever you are doing with the monies are made available. So financial planning will definitely ensure that there is regular supply of finances, and not just regular but also adequate, so that at least we should have the best possible minimum amount that would need over a particular project. Likewise, right here, definitely the question would be if the semester is running from January to probably up to June, what are the activities that are involved? And by looking at the activities that are involved, definitely you'll be able to determine how much money will be needed or be involved, and how, as an institution, you're going to provide that money. So it's either from what you have already earned, and if what you have is not sufficient, definitely you resort to borrowing. That's why we said sources of financing, you talk of debt and equity. The second objective, and on the second objective, we are saying to ensure adequate returns to the shareholders. To ensure adequate returns to the shareholders. To ensure adequate returns to the shareholders, which will depend upon, to ensure adequate returns to shareholders, which will depend upon the earning capacity, which will depend upon the earning capacity, comma, which will depend upon the earning capacity, comma, market price of shares, and expectation of the shareholders, What's that point about? Any guess? Do we guess anything? So there, when you say to ensure adequate return to shareholders, remember last time I did say whenever we have the finance manager in any institution, the aim is to make sure that at least they bring value to the company, and in bringing value to the company, they need to maximize the worth of the shareholders. So that's why we said whenever you're trying to go for any portfolio, you need to understand the portfolio in terms of what? Risk. We discussed about risk a bit, right? Did we? risk. And in fact, you were the one who answered. We discussed about risk. So we understand investment or portfolio in terms of risk so that as we get ourselves assured as whether over the investment that we're trying to go for, we have the capacity that we can make something out of it or not. So all we are looking at is we need to make sure that at least we are certain over what we are doing. So if we are certain, say if we are to invest in this kind of investment, returns are there, then definitely shareholders or investors will be willing to supply us with money because they are sure that other something will come in. And in understanding the risk and seeing how you better mitigate them, definitely by mitigating the risk, you're trying to maximize on the what? On the returns that you're looking forward from the portfolios. So the aim is to make sure that at least we create value or we maximize what the shareholders or the owners of the company are looking forward to achieve. Third objective, unless you have question. And on a third objective, we are saying to ensure optimum funds utilization. To ensure optimum funds utilization. So when you say optimum funds utilization, what is it all about? Optimum funds utilization.
Making use of what we have.
Sorry?
Making use of what we have available.
What we have available. I look exactly what's optimum utilization. Yes, you're almost there. Optimum utilization. That is utilizing the available resources towards the intended what? Project. So if there is an optimum utilization, definitely, or what we're looking at is we need to make sure that at least we have to get the finances at the lowest what? Financial cost. Will it be effective to acquire the sources of finances where we look at financial cost is very high? It won't, right? Because it's like whatever you earn at the end of the time, definitely much of it has to go to what? Much of it has to go towards repayment of the loan and the interest. So we need to make sure that at least we source our funds where at least the financial cost is what? Is minimum. And at the very same time, we need to plan and we need to be assured that at least our finances are put on investment or are put on the projects that will add value to the organization. We go to the fourth. And on the fourth, they're saying ensure safety on investment. To ensure safety on investment. To ensure safety on investment. Safety, yes. Safety on investment. Now from what we have just discussed, what is it all about when you talk of safety on investment? Yes, Tiger. To make more profits on investment. Mm-hmm. That's safety. We're looking towards safety of an investment from what we have discussed. Would you guess anything there? Others, if you try to look at point number 2, I talked something that probably would guide us to say something on this fourth item. All right. Or what we're looking at when we talk of safety on an investment, sometimes if investments are not critically analyzed, we might put our monies into wrong investment. By saying wrong investment, that is, we put monies where we may not have the profits as expected, or where we are not sure as whether we are going to achieve something or not. So when ensuring safety of an investment, and as far as finance management is concerned, we are focusing much on risk analysis. You analyze the risk in as far as finance management is concerned, so that at least from the manager's point, they are assured that at least they can try to overcome, or they can try to minimize the impact of risk on their investment. So this being part of the finance management, that's why we are saying one of the objectives of finance management is to ensure that at least there is a safety on investment. Any person? Do you have questions? Lero mabwira mufatsa wabati. What's happening? Smart friend. Receive. And Salambe American drama. Why? It's math end. So if you still have those faces, I feel like pocket man son of Mizre. Pocket man the son of Mizre. Today is 27. Ndama zina kala Mungu na amani. So Monday. Let's go to fifth objective. On fifth objective, they're saying to plan a sound capital structure. To plan a sound capital structure. Capital structure. To plan a sound capital structure. Full stop there. You continue by liking this. There should be sound and fair. There should be sound and fair. There should be sound and fair composition of capital. Composition of capital, so that a balance is maintained. So that a balance is maintained. So that a balance is maintained. Are we there? I was saying to plan a sound capital structure, there should be sound and fair composition of capital, so that a balance is maintained. Are we there? What do we make out of that? What is capital structure? Any idea what capital structure is all about? So when we talk of capital structure, we are looking at nothing but the composition of equity and debt. Remember I said sources of finances to an organization is debt and equity. So when you talk of capital structure, we are looking at the composition of debt and equity. That is to say, if you have to start a business, definitely the capital should either come from what the owners could put in the business and what could probably be borrowed from outside. So when you talk of optimal capital structure, that is, we need to balance the two. Because you may be looking at both the two sources in terms of their advantages and disadvantages. Having too much equity has its own advantage and disadvantage. Having too much debts has its own advantage and disadvantages. Let's look at dates, because when we talk of dates, it's easy, understandable. What would be the advantage of using too much dates in a company? That question should go to you and De Silva. What's the advantage of using too much dates in a company, in a capital? And what would be the disadvantage as well? Any idea? It's good for the company's growth. How do you enjoy with Ngongole?
There's some things that you can't do because you don't have
The cash?
finances.
Uh-huh.
So you take more, it helps you reach to
Do you pay tax?
me.
Yes. How has been the treatment in as far as Ngongole is concerned?
No, according to me, I've never used more.
Uh-huh. Have you done Ngongole before? So most of the times, most businesses would prefer to use date because there is a, we call it cash shield. What we're looking at is you're always charged interest, right, to pay, and that interest does not. There is no tax being charged on the interest that you pay for borrowing the funds, and that is treated as an advantage due to use of date. But at the very same time, you may find that using too much dates would bring financial distress in the company. That is, if the company now has reached on a verge where they are failing to pay back what? Ngongole. So if the company fails to pay back Ngongole, definitely is under financial distress, so that it will disturb a lot of the activities or operations that are happening in the business. So when you say optimum capital structure, that is, we need to make sure that at least we should put the company on the safer side, so that at least the company doesn't suffer because of how we have structured our capital. Any questions? Mafusalibo? Uzutega? Thank you so much. Let's go to financial management functions. Financial management functions. I'll list these functions, and upon listing them, I would ask you, anyone from you will pick where they feel comfortable, say this one I can explain. Why are you scared? Are you scared?
Yes.
Yes, no. Fourth year. Why scared? Don't get scared. This is not Salam Quran. Zwopcha? Name my songs, Mama. I heard you like mice. How I hate mice. This guy, Akuma Muzao Nabega. Alright, our first function is estimate required capital. Estimate required capital. Estimate required capital. Estimate required capital. Number 2, determine capital structure. Determine capital structure. Determine capital structure.
Structure.
Yes, we have done that before, right? Determine capital structure. Number 3, evaluate and select sources of funds. Evaluate and select sources of funds. Evaluate and select sources of funds. We're there, right? Number 4, right? Allocate and control funds. Allocate and control funds. Number 5, distribute profits or surplus. Distribute profits or surplus.
What?
Distribute profits or surplus. Number 6, monitoring financial activities. What a lucky 6 exactly. Financial activities. So they're exactly 6. I'll not say you do this, you do this. Huh? So one just has to pick what he feels is good. So she's at 4. That's allocation and control, right? 4. You pick 6. Monitoring financial activities. You pick 1. 3. Did you say here? 2 and 5. You pick 2. You get 5. No. No choice for her. Alright, we start with you, sir. Number 1.
Alright, says financial management functions. The first one is estimate the required capital. I mean, I would say financial management helps business owners or those who are yet to start a business be able to determine on what type of resources they want and what is the cost of the production, or I would say the cost of production and the required amount that is needed for them to have all the materials and resources to start their business.
Exactly. So, by planning, you're trying to understand what you are to do, right? So that will tell you how much money you need, so that the project can kickstart. Number 2. Equity.
So, determining how we want to, determining if we should be involved in this or
Alright, so on determining capital structure, definitely upon estimating the required amount of capital that you need, you'll be asking yourself, as an institution, how much are you having? Is it enough to run the project? Or if it's less, you should be thinking of what? Borrowing. Remember, we have said, others, in combining the two, debt and equity, others, you should bring what? An optimal capital structure. So that others, you don't put the company on a disadvantage. And just as an addition, if the company is too much dependent on the dates, definitely the owners of the company, they don't have control over that company. Is it true?
Yes.
So you'll be looking at who actually controls the company. So at any time, all the other emails, the company. So you need to make sure that by combining debt and equity, there is a strict balance between the two. Good. Number 3. Yes.
financial management, maybe we can help to look for the right sources of funds, for example.
Come again. Number 3 is what?
Okay. Is already the right sources of funds. So that can help to look for the right sources of funds, for example, loans from any more shareholders to the company.
For the required capital. So in terms of evaluating, what will you look much there? What are you looking forward? Exactly. So you should be able to know whether it's good or bad to use resources. Could there be a chance where the company has money but still would prefer to use borrowed money for a certain project? Can there be any chance? The company is having the money, but they would rather use borrowed funds, unlike using their own money that is there, the retains earnings. Could there be any chance?
Yes.
Very possible, right? So definitely, you're only looking at what benefit or what value it will bring to what? To the company. That's why we need to evaluate and select sources. Yes, Jasiva? Is that true? You're number four, right? All right.
Number 4 is allocated and control funds.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically means with financial management, you should be you're able to see what amount of money needs to go to a certain project, or let's say maybe for salaries, how much money is it for salaries, so you need to be able to allocate.
As exactly. That is on allocation and control funds. That means when you be using those monies that you have sourced out, you should use according to what you planned, right? Remember last time we said financial management is both at an individual level as well as organization. Ziligo rupezeri wabanga plan bino dollar jangu beziga plan kuibanga bundle. Say money is abundant. I can use it anyhow. Tinamba rapanga plan ilivo. You know, there is this saying, a person plans better when he's in problems. He doesn't have money. Do you agree with that? No. Drama in the ambili. So some of us, we understand money by looking at the bunch, not necessarily the value attached to it. Somebody would have probably 100,000. The biggest note is what? 5,000, right? So 100,000 is about how many notes? 10? 20, right? Somebody would have 25,000 notes. How many 200 kwacha notes are into 100,000? Yes, 2,000. That's 50, right?
Yeah.
So it's 50 notes versus 20 notes. We say and dramatically is the same value, right? But somebody hasn't gone out. I'm going to get up a pocket George as Ganali Bobby. You spend. As Ganali Bobby, you spend. So it's always good to plan. Though I'm not when you are down is when you can plan better. Kamazigango beda Mavudo. Mwaseka. All right, we go to you now.
Distribute profits and surplus.
Mm-hmm.
This is whereby they have to know how to use and utilize the cash and dividends upon shareholders. Whether they are going to put it in their pockets or invest it.
Exactly. Have you heard of dividends before? Desiva, yes, I answer for you. Unless otherwise. Dividends. Have we heard of dividends before? What are dividends? Sorry? I don't get it? You're forgotten. Yes, brother.
I would say dividends can be money that is distributed to the shareholders when an organization makes profits.
Exactly. This is the money that you pay to owners of the company. So definitely, finance managers, they should be able to say this time around we'll be able to pay you dividends, or this time around we may not be able to pay you, right? Depending on what has been the outcome on whatever investment or project that has been there. If there are profits and the amount is enough that you can owners of the company, you do that. If not, you hold. But remember, last time we said, especially black-owned companies, ikale wesakale muda mulibire, and I'm the priority. So you better see me first in our Jaonabe. That's what you do, right? You even not pay your people so long as you get the monies. That's what you do. Governance issues. Right? That's what happens. And somebody is saying, I'll do better because I'm going to work. What a situation, I'd say so. All right, the last one.
Monitoring financial activities is the process of selecting, processing, analyzing financial and economic indicators to strengthen financial disciplines such as evaluating overheads and market expenses.
All right. On monitoring financial activities, what you'll be looking at is now the project is running, you have made money. You may look at it in a number of ways. One, it will be say money should be put into activities or into use as planned. And at the very same time, distribution of profits is also part and parcel of what? Monitoring financial activities. You should be able to say, no, this time allowed, my dividends. Would rather use the money to reinvest. So all those are part and parcel of managing or monitoring financial activities. We're there, right? We go to the other section, and on the other section, what we'll be looking at, we are looking at nothing but importance of financial management. And again, we just rest and we'll do as we have just done. The explanation will come to you. We are there, right? Tiribo? All right. Number one, provides guidance in financial planning. Provides guidance in financial planning. Number two, assist in acquiring funds from different sources. Assist in acquiring funds from different sources. Assist in acquiring funds from different sources. We are there. Three, it helps in investing the appropriate amount of funds. It helps in investing the appropriate amount of funds. It helps in investing the appropriate amount of funds. It helps in investing the appropriate amount of funds. Next, increase organizational efficiency. Increase organizational efficiency. Increase organizational efficiency. Next, reduces drain production. Reduces delay production. Reduces delay production. Reduces cost of funds. Cut down financial costs, etc. Cut down. Yes, no, there are two. I say reduces cost of funds. The other point is cut down financial cost. Let's just add to the list mina tizigango werenga. The other two is to say ensures proper use of funds, 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 ensures proper use of funds. It helps business firm to take financial decisions. It helps business firms to take financial decisions. From there, to take financial decisions. All right. One by one.
What was the last point?
Helps business firm to take financial decisions. It helps business firms to take financial decisions. Yes, one by one.
I'll take one.
You take one. Yes, tell us.
Okay, so maybe we're talking about the importance of financial management. As you can tell from the definition, it clearly says, refers to the strategic planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of financial activities in an organization. So here, point number one says, provides guidance in financial planning. So what financial management basically do is that it provides guidelines for the business owners, guidelines for the business owners to follow when they're creating their organization or something like that, like how things should be done and everything.
How they can source or get the money.
Exactly, manage their resources.
Exactly. Number two. Number two, we have already said there are two sources of finances, right? Debt and equity. So by analyzing debt and equity sources, you should be able to choose the best. That's why we said we need to have an optimal capital structure. So definitely through financial planning, it will assist you to say where do we have to get the funds for our project or for our company. Number three.
Ensures proper use of funds.
Ensure what?
Ensures proper use of funds.
Yes, how? Tell us.
It helps in one in budgeting and two savings and the use of profits.
Use of profits, whether you invest or you share. So exactly, through budgeting, definitely, it's like we are setting what? Footsteps where we need to follow so that we achieve the targeted goals. Anyone would also choose from somewhere else? Any topic that you feel like, Alice, I may talk about this.
To cut down financial costs.
How does it cut down?
Since everything is planned and budgeted for, money is allocated to the intended, it is allocated to the budget. So you would cut down on spending on things that are not budgeted.
All right. So on financial costs there, just as you've said, also we look at, you may have several places where you buy, where you borrow, but you'd always choose the lender who offers what? Reduced interest rates. So definitely cost has to be cut there. What else? Class yojepa ndidiziwana yanangotuuka salala nkule. As I told you already, let's just be chatting, be here and there. That's how we learn. And don't be too serious. Because of serious school seat again. Yes, sister?
Number 5.
Number 5. How?
You have sources of funds and you are planning like your budgeting for the organization. You have like the production of the store, for example, and that's an organization.
Those monies are, you have already spotted where the money could be sourced and the money is made available. So it's like everything is set in place, and as a result, production will be there. There will be no disturbance.
Helps business firms to take financial decisions
How?
by financial statement analysis.
Exactly. So, being a finance manager, definitely you analyze what happens in your organization in terms of financial issues, and later on come up with financial decisions. Ndidi mene kutawuda wambira wako. Kwa sala gani? Number 4. 3 and 4.
Okay, it helps invest in the appropriate amount of funds
Mm-hmm.
in a way that since everything is already planned, you know if you do this, you need this amount of money. So in that way, you have an idea on how much money you need to invest. You shouldn't invest more, or you can't invest less. So
Exactly. Would you continue up to number 4?
no.
A serious no. Number 4. What is efficiency? Efficiency. Good. Do we have WhatsApp group? Aris can hang at the bank create. And we write financial management day. Because I will get this abanga so create yao. What is efficiency? Less waste. That's being efficiency. That's like doing things as the way they're supposed to be done. So just as you're given an example, it's like there shouldn't be too much cost, but at least there should be minimal cost. That's being efficiency. And the fact that you plan everything in advance, definitely, if you are doing everything according to the plan, you reduce any unnecessary thing that would have happened. Too much expense or what have you. Are we there? All right. We now go to something different. And you write accounting versus financial management. Accounting versus financial management. Accounting versus financial management. Last time we talked of accounting, right? Yes, what did we discuss about it? Anything that you recall? Because I said before we jump into accounting, financial management rather, let's just have a chat on accounting, and we had a lot that we discussed that day. What do we recall that we discussed? Accounting. What's accounting all about? Financial transactions. What about them?
Accounting is all about giving reports on finances.
Giving
Reports on finances.
reports on finances, exactly. In terms of the practices that are being followed, did I talk anything? The practice that is followed under financial management as well as under accounting. You recall anything? The practices that we follow. I talked of accrual as well as realization or cash flows. What did I say about accrual? Anything? Anything? Oh, thank you, sir.
Just put a sign and put it anything.
Where? Oh, here.
Yeah.
So here is my signature. Wait. Thank you.
Unasemaje tu
Mwalitanizira me. We're there, right? And we proceed. So you start with just write small stuff on accounting, then I'll tell you what to do. And there you write, accounting is the process. Accounting is the process. Accounting is the process of recording financial transactions pertaining to business. Is the process of recording financial transactions pertaining to business.
What?
Recording financial transactions pertaining or concerning the business. Let me write it that way. We're there. It includes summarizing. It includes summarizing. It includes summarizing, analyzing. It includes summarizing, analyzing, and reporting these transactions. And reporting these transactions, and reporting these transactions to oversight agencies, comma, regulators, and tax collection entities, and tax collection entities, and tax collection entities, and tax collection entities. Are we there? That is very much understandable. Then you write accounting divisions. Accounting divisions. Any divisions of accounting that we know? Any divisions that we know? Or any types of accounting that you know? Or sections. All right, there you write number 1, financial accounting. Number 1, I said accounting divisions, right? Number 1, financial accounting. Number 1, financial accounting. Number 1, financial accounting. There you write. It deals with the preparation. It deals with the preparation of financial statements. The preparation and financial statements. I mean the preparation of financial statements and reporting financial information. So generally, Tigamagamba accounting, we focus much looking at the financial accounting. That's where you look at the business entity interacting or transacting with outsiders, and that's where much of the accounting information is generated. As each and every transaction, once it has happened or it has occurred, you take note of that by recording. Number 2, management accounting. Management accounting. We have talked about that before, right? Management accounting. That's financial management. So there you write, reporting financial information to internal users. Reporting financial information to internal users. Reporting financial information to internal users. Reporting financial information to internal users like management. Reporting financial information to internal users like management, employees, for the policy making, and running a day-to-day operations of the business. The last one, that's number 3, cost accounting. Cost accounting. What's about cost accounting? Cost accounting. It's about what?
It mainly deals with internal costs.
Internal cost of the business.
Cost of production,
Mm-hmm.
cost of materials,
Mm-hmm.
overhead,
Overheads.
absorption costing.
Exactly. So there, right, is the part of management accounting for the cost and risks. Is part of management accounting for the cost and risks. For the cost and risks. For cost or for the cost and risks. So there, if you look at those two, cost and risks.
Spelling analysis.
Yes. So there, if you look at the last two, management accounting and cost accounting, these are internally. So they are much focused on aiding how decisions have to be made in the organization. Whereas financial accounting, that's where information is generated as you transact with outside stakeholders. Now you write differences between accounting and financial management. Differences between accounting and financial management. We're there. So you write a table with 3 columns. Where a column where you'll be portraying. You write basis, that's basis for the difference. Column number 2, you write accounting or financial accounting. And column number 3, you write financial management. You have understood what I've said, right? First column, basis. Second column, accounting. Third column, management accounting. So there we'll only talk about 2, then we call it a day. At least we have done a lot, right? Sure. You're tired or you're not? Eh? Too much is what? Ah. Can you also say if somebody is supplying you money, can you say it's too much now? Money is different. How? That's another story.
Nobody gets enough money.
You have said too much is poisonous.
But that's still money is money.
Money is money.
Even the presidents don't get enough money. Government people gets a lot of money.
All right, let's have this. Our first, you write basic definition. That's under the basis column. You write basic definition. Basic definition. And accounting, you write accounting is a systematic process. 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 Accounting is a systematic process of identifying, recording. Accounting is a systematic process of identifying, recording, measuring, classifying, summarizing, interpreting, and communicating financial information. We're there, right? And on financial management there, you write, financial management is an application. Financial management is an application of general managerial principles, to the area of financial decisions. That
Is the communication general?
I was saying of general managerial principles to the area of financial decision making. We are there. Second basis, you write primary user. Who uses information from financial management? Managers, right? Exactly. Then on primary, who uses accounting information? Every stakeholder. It starts from within the company, you talk of internal users as well as external users. There you write both internal and external users such as creditors, investors, management, employees, investors, customers, government, etc. That's under accounting. And under financial management, you write measuring management of the company and shareholders. That's coming from the word measure. Measuring management of the company and shareholders. All these things we have already talked about. In our third basis, you write importance. That's where we'll carry on in our next meeting.
Say what? On the basis.
I think majorly on the basic importance. That is, we try to focus on the importance of accounting as well as the importance of what? Financial management. My brother, yes, brother, there. You go at the reception, ask for signing sheets, get 3 for day, 2 for weekend. Yeah. Thank you. And we end there unless you have questions. Anyone with a question? Have we understood? Have we understood what we have learned today? Always feel free to ask questions where you feel like you haven't understood. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time.